Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is set to introduce many different aspects to the Star Wars franchise that fans have never seen before on the big screen in Star Wars film history. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, what's really exciting about Episode 9 is that we do know that this film is going to create a lot of questions in the very beginning of this film that will be answered at the very end of this movie. Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that by far, one of the most mysterious characters in the sequel trilogy has all to do with Snoke himself, as well as Luke Skywalker's past of the events that take place after the events of Return of the Jedi that will be answered in Episode 9 by JJ. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting between both Snoke and Luke, as well as Kylo Ren. Now, specifically, what's really intriguing about all of this is that a description of Kylo Ren and his Knights of Ren traveling into the abandoned First Order headquarters, where it's explained that Kylo eventually reaches Snoke's original throne room, where his vault is located, which contains many secrets that Snoke left behind. One of the scenes is said to involve where Kylo goes inside the vault and discovers holograms of Supreme Leader Snoke, that begins where he begins to tell a small tale of Luke Skywalker. It's explained that at one point in time before the events of The Force Awakens, Luke and Snoke had once mentally connected, and that it's revealed that both Snoke and Luke were competing of discovering the Dark Temples to learn the secrets of the Beyond. It said that their rivalry started due to Luke's journey interfering with Snoke's journey, and that at one point in time, Snoke had almost tricked Luke into becoming one of his own allies, where Luke for a short period of time handed Snoke vital pieces of Jedi information, where Snoke turned on Luke and revealed that he was being manipulated. The lesson in the hologram was said to be used for Snoke's first apprentice before Kylo Ren, to never trust the Jedi or the Jedi way, and that Kylo Ren tunes into all of this. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, what's really exciting about this is that this is expanding on what we already learned in The Last Jedi novelization. I don't know if you guys read it, but if you guys go ahead and read it, you do in fact learn that at one point in time, Snoke had mentally connected with Luke Skywalker to discover the truth of the Force. Now it turns out that they were both competing to discovering the Dark Temples. Now, in case you guys haven't been following, the Dark Temples are actually said to hold the bridge to the Beyond itself once they are all activated across the entire galaxy, as well as over in the unknown regions. And now it makes sense as to why Snoke was over in the unknown regions, not just because of hiding the fact that he was building the First Order from the ground up, but also to discovering the Dark Temples and to activating each and every one of them to discover the truth of the Beyond itself. Now, Luke's journey to actually discovering the truth of the Beyond, as well as activating all the Dark Temples, came to an end when he started his Jedi training temple, where Leia and, of course, Han Solo pretty much, wanted Luke's help in order to set things straight with Ben Solo because of his dark side tendencies. Now, with that being said, this hologram of Snoke is said to deliver vital information to Kylo Ren indirectly, where Kylo Ren is essentially learning about this whole entire situation between both Snoke and Luke, that they had this past together remotely, where they once connected through the ways of the Force, from one end of the galaxy to the other. And that at one point in time, Luke even handed Snoke pretty much handed Snoke pieces of Jedi information that Snoke was able to manipulate Luke Skywalker and use that against him. So you can really see how J.J. Abrams is trying to really answer as to why there is such a rivalry between both Snoke and Luke, and exactly what happened between the two after the events of Episode 6 and before the events of Episode 7. It's a huge time jump, I must say. I mean, there's a lot to tell in between those two movies. We're talking about 30 plus years of content that can really be explored in the forms of books, novels, comics. That, of course, is going to be teased in The Rise of Skywalker. Again, like I say, we do know that Episode 9 is going to be used as a foundation to introduce new types of Star Wars lore, new stories for some of our popular characters like Luke, Vader, Anakin, Obi-Wan, you name it, as well as some of the new characters like Rey and Kylo Ren and where they've been. So what I like about this also is that this does give us a little bit more of an understanding of Luke's journey to discovering the truth of the Force, which, from what it seems, that was the other way of saying the beyond. You know, in the Last Jedi novelization, you know, it actually mentions the truth of the Force. That most likely was in reference to the beyond itself, since we do know that the beyond is indeed the origins of the galaxy and the dark and the light side of the Force, and that Snoke himself was even born over in the beyond and actually has been trying to find his way back over there ever since he was over in another region of the galaxy. So again, like I say, we're still not quite sure what the beyond really is. It may be a different realm or dimension or a different galaxy entirely, for all we know. So I would love to hear what all of you have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.